it's interesting. Bibi Shay's just telling us, and this is in the Entertainment Report, and I've seen this documentary back in, I think it was like 84, that game show, Press Your Luck, had a guy get on there. You've probably heard this story. He got on the game, and he knew the pattern of the game board. The way it worked was you won spins by answering trivia questions. There were 2 rounds, and then the lights would just spin around the board, and wherever you stopped it, you got whatever you stopped it on. But there were whammies.
That's the whammy game.
Yep. So you'd say, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, stop. And when you hit a whammy, which I thought it was a clever game, and all the money went away when you hit a whammy. It preceded, it was led into Price is Right. It was, I think, it was on. We would watch, during the summer, I'd watch Pyramid and Press Your Luck, and then Price is Right, when I wasn't hanging by the pool with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that?
When I wasn't at the pool with my girlfriend, I was at home watching Price is Right and Press Your Luck and Pyramid, and therefore I watched every single episode of Price is Right.
Yeah, she couldn't get across the border.
I really knew my pricing games quite well. The point is, there was a guy who...
More of a shut-in?
Yeah, actually, he and I had a lot in common. Yeah. When he wasn't at the pool with his girlfriend,
he was memorizing game shows.
He recorded every single episode of Press Your Luck on multiple VCRs, and he timed out. He would slow motion and time out the patterns of the game board because it would jump from box to box to box in a certain way. I think they had 9 patterns.
It appeared random to the average viewer, of
course,
but he cracked the code.
Yes, he did. It would go in one of 9 different ways. I think that's right. I saw a documentary on it, and he knew it. So he was able to. He got on the game. He drove his ice cream truck out to California to get on the game. He and I have a lot of similarities. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm really drawn to this story in the 80s. And when he got on, he played through 2 rounds. And in the first round, he was in second place. He did okay, just like everybody else. Then when he got to the second round, that's when the money was really big. And every time you hit like $5,000 or $4,000, those were the big prizes on the board, you got an extra spin. So he never lost a spin. He kept hitting it over and over and over again, to the point that the host, Peter Tomarken, stopped everything. He's like, I mean, the game was lasting too long. You know, he kept on and on and on. Because when you whammy out, you're out of the game. And that always happened to people, always.
Yeah.
Well, he kept going and going and going. And so the host, Peter Tomarken, said, we have to stop this right now. He was at like $180,000 or something, which is unheard of. I mean,
it's like counting cards in Vegas.
Yeah, but there was no rule against it, I guess. I mean,
they probably never thought anyone could.
Who would imagine? And so
could they break his legs backstage?
That was their only option, to break his legs.
It was, that's kind of insinuated that they wanted to.
Tomarken went out to like the producers out in the audience, and they were staring at that guy and pointing at him like, what?
Was this a Goodson Todman?
Yeah, I think it was.
Mark Goodman, Bill Todson?
I think it was. And Tomarken was like talking with the head honchos of CBS, like pointing.
He's making me look like a fool. What are we supposed to do? He's memorize the pattern.
But there's no rule against it.
Can we kill him? No, we can't kill him.
Not here. There are lights. There are cameras.
Too many
here.
witnesses.
But this is on TV. We can't kill him. Now they're making a movie out of this, and
I love it.
I do too. Peter Tomarken, by all accounts, was a fantastic guy. The game show host. He died way too young. He was on an aid mission, taking food to underprivileged kids or place that had been hit by a natural disaster or something, and a plane crash. And he died in his 40s or 50s, or maybe 60s. But he was way too young to have died. But that story in 1984, he always was like, I didn't know what to do because I was hosting the game, and the game just kept going. And I mean, it was, of course, a 30-minute game.
Did it ever air?
I don't.
Because that would be, they shoot those things weeks, if not months in advance. I can't imagine they would have somebody make a fool of them on the air.
I don't know if they aired it. They.
Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Well, I don't remember from I saw the documentary probably 10 years ago, and it would have taken like 3 slots to air. It took 90 minutes or more for the guy to keep winning over and over and over again. And I believe they did give him the money. I think there was no way not to.
You kind of have to.
Like I've always thought, in Vegas, they say if you count cards, of course that's illegal. I've never thought it should be. You know, if
your mind is that sharp.
Exactly, then you deserve to win. I mean, they've got.
Is it illegal or is it just frowned upon?
Well, it's not illegal. I guess they just ask you to leave.
Yeah.
I don't think that's right. I mean, if you beat 99% of people, if you're the house, obviously we know we wander in there, we lay $1,000 out in whatever game, and we leave and we lose.
Is the problem if you work in teams?
Now that I do think is wrong. But if you're just a guy like Rain Man, who is so smart,
just knows,
who just
has a memory that you can't quit.
For some reason, you can pretty much figure out, okay, this is a 9-deck shoe, and 18 aces have already been played, so I'm not going to hit here. That kind of thing. Then I think you deserve it. That you've done your work. That guy did the research. He knew the pattern, and they didn't make it illegal.
The episode did air.
It did
in 2 parts.
Had to,
but then after it aired, they said that they would never ever air again.
That's correct. Wow. Yeah, I may have seen.
How did he get? How did he lose?
He did not. I don't believe he lost. I think they stopped the game.
I think they just stopped.
And they said, we're going to give you this amount of money.
I'm trying to think about other classic game shows, because Press Your Luck is still on now. I think Elizabeth Banks is the host in primetime.
And they have, of course, now everything's updated. So the game pattern now is 100% random. You could never
infinitely random.
Yeah, you can't do it now because the computers are so good now. It just, of course, you can never pick it. It's like a one in a billion chance.
But there was a documentary. I watched it, 5-10 years ago. Remember the guy who memorized prices and could win on the Price is Right. He would sit in the audience and holler out pricing.
That's right.
To the contestants.
And he was.
And I think I don't know if he ever got on stage. He may have, but he was just the guy who kind of remembered every price.
Yeah.
And I wonder what other game shows can you beat like that?
I don't think that should be against the rules either for Price is Right. Let's see.
You can't beat Jeopardy because you don't know the clues.
Or Wheel.
No, that's totally random.
It's 100% random on that. Most of them are probably unbeatable.
They're too random.
But the pricing games, you can figure out prices. You could be better. You could research it. And obviously this game, at that time, with the patterns of the lights, he was able to figure it out. I would recommend the documentary and the movie.
Do we know casting, B.B. Shea, for the...
Yeah, so the person playing Michael Larson is Paul Walter Hauser. He played Richard Jewell.
Heavyset.
And the host...
Apologies, I'm
sorry. Yeah, that was...
The player was Heavyset.
Yes.
I want to say that.
Okay.
Will you be his stand-in, B.B. Shea, if
I
they
could
shoot
be,
the
yeah.
film locally?
You look a lot like... You have a lot in common with...
Heavyset.
I have a lot in common with him. Okay, I was a loner. I was a shut-in. I watched Press Your Luck every day because my girlfriend was stuck in Canada, and I didn't want to go to the pool without her. I was a good boyfriend, because I figured if I went to the pool,
Temptation.
Some girl would be like,
put some sunscreen on my shoulders.
Oh, look at your abs. Okay.
What? Look at your abs.
I felt like the ladies would be like, oh my gosh, you are bringing that in here. I've got to have a piece of that, But so I stayed away from that kind of temptation. And then Walton Goggins is playing the host.
The host, yeah.
Peter Tomarken.
Yeah.
That is
Goggins can do anything.
I love it.
He's great.
I love him.
Drama, comedy.
Do you watch White Lotus? He's on White Lotus right now.
I know he's on, but I don't watch it, no.
Now, I want to update something that Biggie and I talked about. Biggie watches the show. White Lotus. It's season 3 now. And full disclosure, I don't like this season as much as I did 1 and 2. But this past week's episode turned it up a notch. So there's a guy on there who plays a very wealthy person from Durham, North Carolina. And the storyline around him is he's going to go to jail when he gets back from Thailand because he is cheating the government, and they're on to him.
I didn't know this because I didn't watch the series, but apparently he, the actor from Lotus, was a gigantic figure in the Harry Potter world.
Correct. He's British.
Jason Isaacs. Yeah.
He's British, and he's in Harry Potter, as you said. I didn't know that either. But he plays a Southerner from Durham, North Carolina, named Tim Ratliff. And in the latest episode, Biggie and I chronicled this. He's on his wife's sleeping medication.
Lorazepam.
She says, she's played by Parker Posey.
I need my lorazepam.
Right. And she's so hopped up, or she's so down on it that he steals it from her. And she's like, where's my lorazepam? And he's like, you probably just lost it.
He just mumbles his lines now that he's now that he's on the downs.
Well, at first in the show, he's very keyed up because this thing is going back on with his business. And he's like, I need my phone. They don't allow phones on the resort. And he's all tense. And she finally says, why don't you just take a lorazepam? I don't ever do drugs. I'm not doing drugs. Finally, he takes one, and now he's taking like 10 a day. Well, that leads to this. He sits down at breakfast with a robe on. He's like, I'm jet lagged. But they've been there like 5 days. He's like, I am so jet lagged.
But nobody knows he's on the wife's pills.
No, the wife's just like, where are my pills? I don't know. The staff probably stole them.
They steal, you know.
So finally, he's so out of it, his legs fall open, and there's his, huge dong. It's just like, Chris Demm said, is he hanging pork? I said, yeah, he's hanging pork. And Biggie and I both said, that's a prosthetic.
Jaw-dropping dong.
That's a prosthetic. There's no way.
Come on.
It has been revealed. Indeed, it was a fake penis.
I knew it.
I knew it. I knew it. My wife went screaming and running from the room. She'd never seen anything like that. I said, that's fake. And it has been revealed it is fake, but the actor Jason Isaacs loved doing the part. He said, is today my day with the dong? Is it dong day? And finally they said, yes.
Hook me up.
It's dong day. And they brought it to him. They brought him several to choose from. And he said, I'll take that one.
No one's ever put on one that big except Mark Wahlberg.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
It's the Wahlberg.
I've never seen it. Wahlberg is in the class by itself.
Boogie Nights.
That's Boogie Nights. That one, it's like, oh.
They retired that one.
They had to.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame. His is, honestly, way too large for any real man. And so it's been told now. Finally, he admitted, yeah, it was a prosthetic.
That wasn't me.
It's not all me, but everyone was shocked to see it. That's the truth behind the White Lotus star's on-screen penis reveal. It is a fake.